And just like that, baby, we are officially live on the official Waddle Podcast, live again from beautiful Miami. And sir, can you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, yep. I'm Ben Keegan. I'm the founder of Dandylion Entertainment. We put this house on alongside Luxury Rally Club with one of our collaborators and clients. So yeah, it's good to be in Miami.
Oh, it's great to be in Miami. Thank you so much for doing this, hosting this house. It's beautiful. Now, this is the second time you've done it, right? You guys were here for last year?
Well, we were here last year for F1, but we were doing some brand activation stuff. The house thing that we've done here, like this weekend, it's the second one that we've done, but we did it at the Grammys in LA. So we did we do quite a lot of work in LA. We do quite a lot within the music industry. So it's like LA Grammys. Instead of running around LA trying to see everyone that's got crazy schedules over that Grammy week, we thought, let's just get a decent house with a barbecue.
That's right.
Some drinks, get everyone to come to us. So we did like an industry barbecue on the Thursday before the Grammys, and we were actually there for 2 weeks.
Wow.
So throughout that 2 weeks, we just had everyone coming in for meetings. We opened it up to our clients and friends, collaborators to do meetings, come and hang out. And it just worked really well. It's basically like opening our network to our network.
Right.
And so lots of people that we work with ended up meeting other people that we work with, other clients, started, there's some collaborations came out of it, some deals came out of it. Similar to today, we've had a load of people come over to us, and so much crossover of opportunity.
Right.
But like in a really, look at this place, it's amazing.
Come on now.
So yeah, conceptually it just worked really well. We kind of did it by accident. So then we were like, this works really well, let's do it again. So Miami is a great place for us. So we do, we were here last year for the F1. We do stuff here for like Miami Swim Week, Ultra.
Right.
So it's a good spot. And, when you have a weekend like F1, when everyone's in town, it's just good to have a place where everyone can come over and hang out and see each other.
Well, on behalf of everybody here, I'd just like to say I appreciate you inviting us. Appreciate you for doing this. Even little guys like Little Owado is here doing this podcast. Okay, we made it, baby. Can you describe what is Dandylion?
So Dandylion Entertainment is essentially it's difficult to describe because we get involved in some really random shit.
Hey man, let's go.
Essentially, we're a brand marketing agency, so we work with lots of different brands, but we're specialist in that we work with a lot of A-list talent, predominantly music talent, and we work within the entertainment space. So a lot of what we do is very music aligned, but we work within sport, esports, fashion, art and culture. So the kind of stuff that we're involved in, we do a lot of brand and talent collaborations. We do some product development. I think we're about to launch. We have literally last night we launched a new fashion brand that's here that's gone down extremely well. Rules of Faith. We've got drinks brands that we've created, generally with talent partners.
Yeah.
But we do a lot of sponsorship stuff, a lot of brand collaborations, event production. We work with other people's events where we'll bring sponsors in and brand activations. So it's a bit of a mix, but it's pretty much everything we do. We work with talent, brands, and within entertainment. Yeah. So anything within that mix, we're down to get involved with.
Sounds like you're just the ultimate connection piece here. Now, did you always see yourself doing this, being in this field?
No, not at all. So my background, I worked for fashion magazines for quite a few years. So I was an ad director at some pretty big fashion magazines. So I worked with lots of brands in that space. I then went and over to the talent side. I worked for quite a big global talent agency and worked specifically on the music roster. So I started doing deals for the talent. So I negotiated and contracted all the brand deals, campaigns, and then so kind of over those two different verticals, had a great black book and relationships with brands, had some amazing relationships with music talent directly, with talent and their management. So we set Dandylion up 8 years ago. In September, it'll be our 8 years.
Wow,
and it was basically just bringing those two networks together. Brands that we've worked with, that trust me, that I know how they operate, I know who their customers are, we know how to work with them and how to help them be successful. And then this whole talent network that are direct relationships. So, and we do a lot of stuff with talent that's direct for them as well. So we do a lot of private stuff. And so that means that when we're doing the brand stuff, it's a very different context in terms of the conversation. So we generally can have access to the talent that we're kind of friends with some of them, but have worked professionally with them at a completely different rate, and they'll do more for us.
Right.
We're not, if you go direct through that like agent, it's, some of the numbers that get thrown out are insane.
Unreal.
Whereas if we can pick the phone up direct to that DJ or that band or the artist, and we've got a good relationship with their management, we can generally get deals done that just work for everyone, and it means that we add a huge amount of value to the clients that we work with, specifically in the brand side of things. But then coming from the magazine side of things, a lot of what we do is sort of ideation, coming up with concepts and how to execute them. So there's a creative strategy element to it, and we utilize our network then to help deliver it.
Wow. And now, would you say that you guys search for talent, search for brands, or are they searching for you?
Yeah, I mean, we don't really do any marketing or PR. We haven't done that whole time. I mean, we've had a holding page up on our website for 6.5 years. So the clients we work with are either clients that we've worked with for years, or the new clients that we work with, pretty much all of them come through referrals and recommendations. And that's it. I mean, I think because of the kind of stuff that we do, it's quite niche, and it's working with a very specific, particular group of people, whether that's a luxury brand or an A-list artist. Like, we can't hire like a business development executive to go and
you can't
bring those. It's all relationships. It's entirely built on relationships. So if they're not relationships that we already have that are existing, the way that we, get new talent that we work with, or new brands that we work with, or new opportunities, is through somebody else's relationship that rates what we do, that we've worked with, and they're like, you say, they recommend us, like, you should be working with these guys, or let me introduce you to these guys. Today and this weekend with, the people that are here is a great example. We know a few people in Miami, but we don't know this many people.
That's right.
And that's because, some of our partners that are here, Luxury Rally Club, Modern English, Chaser Water, they all have hit their networks up saying, you've got to come meet these guys, come and hang out. And, they know that everyone that's here and has been here are good people to meet.
Right.
Everyone's relevant to each other a little bit in terms of what we do, but they're just generally good people as well, people that you want to work with. And
that's right.
And if it's not relevant to work with, that you want to have a beer with.
Yeah, exactly. And they say if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
You guys have built it. We're all here. Now, I want to ask you, in terms of your job, your title, can you describe a great day and a bad day?
They don't, because, I mean, my job and my title, I'm the founder, but I'm really I do the day-to-day stuff as well. So I'm like, I suppose my job title isn't founder. My job title is, head of partnerships, really.
Right.
But everything we do is partnerships. So there isn't really good and bad days. There's just days.
Yeah.
Because even the days when we might close a big deal, it might be 2 months in the making, or, there was a big football shirt sponsorship deal that we did that took 10 months.
Right.
So, there's good days and bad days throughout that whole period. And, as long as you're... I don't want to sound too... I'm trying to choose the words that don't sound like a fucking cliche.
Yeah.
But I think all of it for me is I'm really confident that I'm doing the right thing. And that even like everything we do was during COVID and lockdown.
Yeah.
Gone. Like events, sponsorship, talent.
Yeah.
It was all, everything was done. But I was still adamant that the stuff that we do and what we're building is what I'm supposed to be doing and what I want to do, what I'm passionate about, what I'm good at. So I think every day, whether, there's good days and bad days, some days you're just in a funk, and it's nothing to do with work, but it affects your work.
Correct.
I think because I know that I'm doing the right thing, it's all good.
Right. And what's it like working with A-list celebrities? A lot of people know about them, A-list artists. A lot of people talk about that. It's a different kind of luxury, different kind of level. What's it like working with them? Pretty much all of it's been good. Like the actual
talent. So like, I don't think I've ever had an issue with talent that we've worked with. There's issues with people around them that can be a bit of a nightmare. You know, especially when we're doing event stuff, and you know, we've done some stuff at like Coachella, for instance, with some quite big hip hop artists, and they've been great and like super nice. You know, can't do it. You know, they're really take it seriously what we're doing with them, and you know, generally go above and beyond in helping us deliver what we're doing, because it's beneficial for us all for it to be done well. But then with, you know, different talent will have varying levels of entourage that have varying levels of importance.
Correct.
And generally the ones that are not that important are the ones that are trying to project that they're important.
Make it seem like
and they can just get in the way of shit. Like, you know, because they're trying to, what I've found with some of those guys, they're just trying to justify their seat at the table a little bit.
Correct.
But, you know, that's part and parcel of dealing with, you know, that space and what we do. But it's, on the whole, like, it's great. Like, you know, we're really fortunate to work on the projects that we work on. You know, we work with great talent, great brands, in great places. You know, in last year, I think, you know, we activated in 14 different places around the world.
Wow.
So that's from, like, Dubai, Bahrain, Italy, Japan, LA, Nashville, Miami. It's, you know, so we get really privileged to get to come to these places and do some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, to complain about any of it, you know,
be a long shot.
Not good.
Now, obviously, we see you here. You're the front runner, founder, as he said, but that's not all he does. Can you tell me how important the team is? Yeah,
I mean, but it's not just like we not just our team. Pretty much everything that we do is a collaboration. So, like, you know, what we're doing here is mainly with Trevor and Luxury Rally Club.
Yep.
You know, we've kind of put this together. Pretty much every project we do is a collaboration, and it's not just the brand and the talent. A lot of what we'll do, we'll work with other agencies and partners, and you know, we bring a lot of other people into our projects because there's different specialisms, and there's certain things that I know we're good at and I'm good at and we can do. But a project might be multifaceted, where there's sort of 5 elements. And if we're good at 3 and okay at 2, I'll bring partners in that are great at the other 2. And that's always kind of been our philosophy of working. We're, again, quite fortunate that a lot of my friends own and have founded businesses that complement what we do. Some of them would, you know, from on paper would look like competitors, and they are.
Yeah.
But then we'll bring them in on projects to collaborate, and it, you know, it's just great. And it means that, you know, the end product's better. And ultimately, even though you end up sort of sharing the wealth on the project, because it's like we could take 100% of that revenue.
You could, yeah.
But maybe do a 80% job, or, you know, we share some of that revenue out by bringing other partners in and do a great job. And ultimately, that means more revenue, because like, you don't lose clients. People will come back and work with you. People will recommend you. You know, so I think everything that we do's got, you know, a bit of a long-term.
And now you got here a nice display of beautiful clothes.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the clothing line coming up?
Yeah. So this is literally, we launched it last night. Not accidentally, but it definitely wasn't due to launch last night.
Yeah.
But we were obviously doing the house, and we've created this amazing luxury streetwear brand, if I say so myself.
Yes, absolutely.
Called House of Faith, and it's luxury streetwear. The staple product is a hoodie that we've done, which is just amazing quality. It's like a 500-gram hoodie, and we've got these amazing sort of religious imagery. We actually licensed directly from the Vatican.
Wow. The real Vatican.
We've got it has a velvet front with the imagery on, that's like super high definition print. Everything's like stitched. The quality is just unbelievable. It's all made and manufactured in the UK, so it's all produced in England, which is quite rare, because obviously, you know, we could make a cheaper product in India or China or Portugal. So we've kept it English made, and then the main sort of unique element is that we've then put a velvet inner image in the hood as well, so it looks, I mean, it looks stunning.
One of one.
And they're all limited edition, so each piece is 1 of 50, and then we've got these 1 of 1 custom pieces as well, which
wow.
There's just one of them made, and we're working with some quite big talent to create some really special pieces with them. But yeah, we were coming out here, we had the first batch done, so I was like, fuck it,
run it,
let's get
them live,
book another case. And then realized that the social wasn't up, the website wasn't up, but it was like, right, switch it on.
Switch it on.
And then, yeah, we've got some of the stuff here today, and the response to it's been phenomenal. It's like, we actually, one of the guys he's our first customer. He went online and bought a hoodie and a hat.
Wow.
Which wasn't the purpose of bringing it, but
and it's great quality stuff, I must say. Great quality stuff. And I want to ask you, Ben, if you were to go back 5 years ago, and tell yourself what you're doing, where you're at right now, would he have believed it?
I think so. Because where we're at now and what I'm doing now, we weren't doing 5 years ago, but we wanted to
plan.
Be. Like, yeah. And you know, it's literally been like that. You know, we've had great times and then bad times, and some of that's mistakes we've made, some of it's market stuff that you can't control, like COVID and other things. And there was, you know, job offers coming in, given my background, for some pretty big companies, and, you know, from tech brands to fashion brands, and but I was never tempted. Like, even when it was, you know, we were struggling at times, because I was absolutely sure in myself that what I was doing, even when it wasn't going well, was gonna go at some point.
Correct.
Because there was some amazing deals that nearly happened and didn't, and there was a period where we just had so much bad luck with some really big projects that, you know, got to 95%, and then for the most random reasons didn't happen.
Yeah.
And you're like, and it would have been easy to then just be like, we're back, you know, you're banging your head against a brick wall, and it's just not, you're putting all this work in and then it doesn't get over the line. But then when I was looking at it, it's like everything was right, but then the reasons why it didn't happen were kind of random stuff that's out of your control. And it's, you know, we got into positions that no one really has access to. Very few people do.
Right.
You know, some of the opportunities are, you know, we're in a really unique, privileged space to be in. And it's like, you know, I've spent 10 years getting into those spaces to be, you know, 10 years to be the person that artist or DJ calls to do something private with.
That's right.
To give that up just didn't seem like an option. And, you know, so, you know, there's rolls of dices, you know, there's risk.
And everything.
But yeah, I was never tempted to divert from the plan.
And now, as someone that makes deals, multiple deals with artists, brands, how important is it for you, if it is, to be balanced? Because I can see myself getting a nice deal and being so high, missing a deal being so low. How important is it to be balanced?
I don't think it's not even balance. I think because of the journey of, like, things going well, things going that, I think I never really, when it was almost like when things went well was more of an issue.
Oh, wow.
In that, like, you're kind of waiting for things to drop again.
Right.
Like, you know, like if someone's in like a really sort of come from a really privileged space, and it's like, they're just like, oh no, life's just great.
Yeah.
Because it's always been great. It's like when, even when something good happens, you're like,
just
there's going to be a period around the corner where, you know, the luck of doesn't run on your side. Correct. And like deals fall through, and so there's, again, I think it's just a longer term mentality. Like the I don't really get massively emotional or affected by the wins, but I'm also really good at not getting affected by the losses. Like when we do miss out on something that we've put 3 months work into, that's cost us money and time, and you're emotionally attached to with some of this stuff because you've put creative into it, or you know whatever the project is. When it doesn't happen, I'm pretty level on it, and then when it does happen again, I'm pretty level with it. And I think that's part of being the longevity, is like, you know, not, you know, coasting on the wins because then you're not working for the future stuff because you're like, oh, we just hit a big deal and we don't, you kind of think that you're good, and then further down the line it dries up because you've not put the work in still on the.
And now, if there's any artists out there or brands that would like to work with you, would like to reach out, is there ways they can find you and network with you, or are you going to find them?
Come to Miami. We're here till Tuesday.
Come on down, baby.
Yeah, I mean, there's Ben Keegan, Dandelion Entertainment. Like we said, don't try and go through the website, 'cause that's we've had a holding page up on there for a while. But yeah, I mean, I'm easy to find, and always happy to speak to people, and if there's any help or support that we can give to anyone that's that's relevant to what we do. Yeah. Always happy to do that.
And now you told me about last year's event. As someone that sets everything up, is someone that is the reason that we're all here. Is it important for you to sit back and really enjoy yourself, enjoy the time?
Yeah, I mean that's because the whole vibe here, like you can't really sort of see, but it's a super laid back environment. Like we've got our buddy Victor on the grill over there, throwing out some burgers. We've got amazing sort of wine pop up, and I think we're on our 12th case of tequila.
Keep them coming.
So the whole point, and we're here. It's not just a day thing. Like the Grammys, we were there for 2 weeks.
Wow.
This we're here. I think we're like 6 nights to really spend time with people.
Right.
This is an opportunity for if people that we are working with or might work with in the future around, they want to come here, then it is to like create a really laid back, fun environment and be able to spend time with people. So I'm not running around doing production shit. Like I'm sitting around having a drink with people. Yeah. And just catching up, and it's a kind of 50-50 work, social kind of conversations that we're having. Hearing about what how people's kids are, as well as what's happening with the business, as well as what club they might be going to later.
Right. You need all the options.
So the whole point of this and the value isn't me, running around with the fucking earpiece in. Right. It's just sitting down with people, having a beer, catching up, spending some quality time. Again, COVID, lockdown. Yeah. We kept in touch with everyone, but we're doing it over Zoom meetings, and it's like to actually see people and have a hug it out and grab a beer together. Yeah. For what we do, it's really, really important. Like I've said before, our whole business is built on relationships. So this is the whole point of doing this, is to just, keep those relationships great.
Yeah. And do you have any kids of yourself?
Yeah. I have a 2-year-old and 4-year-old at home.
Congrats.
So they're running around causing mayhem. We have brought them out to a couple of things. We did this time last year, actually. We did the Miami thing. Then we was in California for like 5 or 6 weeks. So the family came out. We had like little beach house in Redondo. Right. And they've been out to Dubai with us when we did some stuff there. Because I was out if I'm away for a little while, and they can come with me. It's great. It's a bit more difficult now because my 4-year-old started school. So
gotcha.
Yeah, and he's got a big mouth, so like
gotta be careful.
He just grasses himself up. He's like, we're like, right, Tommy, any of your teachers ask you've been sick? He's I was in Copenhagen.
Yeah, right. Let him know where he was. Yeah. I want to ask you something I always ask my guests. When you had children, did life slow down for you, or did it speed up? It
just changed. And last year, I was away 14 times. Like we did 14 activations in different places. So I was away 14 times in about 11 months. So when you've got the little ones that are that age, you don't really want to be away that much. Yeah. But we'd come off the back of a disastrous couple of years with what had happened with the global pandemic. Correct. If somebody picked up the phone and was like, "Do you want to come and do this art event in Japan?" I was like, "Yep,
I'm on the way."
Yeah, Art Biennale, film festival in Italy. I was like, "Yep." So we just had to get things back on track to provide the life that I want to provide for them too. Correct. So priorities change, your mindset changes, but the motivation for what you're doing. I'm still doing the same thing, but there's a different there's different motivation behind it. Yeah. So things don't speed up or slow down because of that. They just, you kind of, the reason why you're doing it changes, if that makes sense.
It sounds to me, Ben, like you've been all over this world. I want to ask, is there 2 countries that one you'd love to go to again and one you'd hesitate to return back?
We've never done anything in China.
Wow.
Which is, and I've got friends who've done stuff in China. Like, you don't want to go. It's like it's not fun. But I think because I've never been and experienced it, and it's like, just to kind of go there and see what it's about, and experience that culture and maybe doing something there. So that's kind of on the list. We've not really done much in Africa. I'd really love to. Wow. It's like we work with a few Afrobeat artists that we've got quite close relationships with, but we've always done stuff with them in the US or the UK, so I think it'd be really cool to go and do some stuff out there, and again, just like experience, different cultures, different ways of working, different mindsets, see how audiences and customers and consumers engage differently, because again, that ultimately just makes us better at what we do. Hesitant of going somewhere? I don't think so. I haven't really had a bad experience of a place.
No.
Touch wood. Probably avoid Russia for the time being, given what's going on there. But even if somewhere's like a bad experience, I still want to experience it.
Right.
If I've not been there, like I'm quite I quite just want to experience as much as I can, good and bad. Just to have.
And last one I got for you, Ben, before I let you get out of here. If you had a young Ben Keegan walking around, wanting to be just like you.
I am a young Ben
You are
Keegan.
a young man, a little kid, a little tyke. What one word of advice would you give to him if he wanted to follow your footsteps, knowing what you know?
Just, I suppose, going back to what we've already said, I think if you're sure about what you want to do and you think you can do it to a good level, don't let other people push you off course. Because that, like, when you're in the middle of your thing, like, you see all of it, but then people from the outside see what it looks like from the outside.
A smidge,
Yeah, and it's, and that's generally what the result is. So if you're going through a bad patch or things aren't working out, it's like that's all they see. They don't see the, everything that you're doing and what you've built that's foundational. Right. They don't have any visibility of that shit. So I think if you're really sure about what you want to do and you think you can do it to a good level, just keep going, because if you'll get there. It'll turn around.
Well, thank you so much, Ben. Dandelion Entertainment, joining the Wado podcast. It's been great. Thank you for being a great host.
Me, man.
Thank you so much, sir.
Cheers, buddy.
It's been awesome.